Welcome to Stop Emotional Eating. I call this first tool Hate Loss Leads to Weight Loss. Often, binge eating is a way that people use to punish themselves for the anger and resentment that they might be feeling either at themselves or at someone else. In fact, there's been a lot of research which supports how anger is at the root of many addictions, as far-ranging as food, drug, alcohol, even shopping addictions. Addicts seek these vices to avoid feeling the pain of resentment. Their anger becomes a boomerang of sorts, or what I call a boomeranger, because their unwanted negative emotions come back at them to whack them with an addiction. The University of Wisconsin did a kind of famous research study which compared forgiveness therapy to routine traditional drug alcohol therapy. And what they discovered was that forgiveness therapy helped to relieve substance abuse even more successfully than routine drug alcohol therapy. Plus, not only did the subjects in the study display faster success, they also experienced less recidivism, which means that they didn't return to their addictions. They stayed addiction-free. The ones who did forgiveness therapy had more of an upsurge of remaining addiction-free. After I read this study and further research as well, I decided to go on what I call a hate loss plan as part of my weight loss plan. In other words, I realized that whenever I was picking out on a big bag of cheese doodles, I was really picking out on a big bag of I hate me doodles, or a big bag of I hate that this challenge happened to me doodles, or I hate that guy who caused me heartbreak doodles. You get the idea. It became clear to me that I needed to retrain my brain to stop eating like I wanted to punish myself or eat like I wanted to punish someone else. I needed to relearn how to eat like I loved myself and wanted to nourish and support myself. And soon after, I developed healthier ways to deal with my anger, rechannel my resentment and my worry. And sure enough, I released the pull that I felt towards junk food. Basically, I went on a hate loss plan, which helped me in my weight loss plan. Thanks to doing certain forgiveness therapy tools, I now eat like I love myself instead of eating like I want to punish myself. Plus, I've not only lost weight from my hate loss plan, I've lost the anger and the anxiety that I was feeling, and I feel happier and calmer within. Can you relate to any of this? Do you sometimes find yourself eating when you feel angry at someone or angry at yourself or angry at an event? Even if you're not overeating specifically as punishment, chances are you're doing it to avoid being fully present with yourself and unwanted feelings. It's time to have a tough love chat with yourself and, come clean with the fact that overeating is often a way to escape yourself. It's an attempt not to feel or think about what you really kind of need to feel and face. Stress eating happens because you're in stress mode. And when you're in stress mode, you enter into fight and flight mode. And that's when you eat. And I have actually renamed fight and flight, and bite. Because when you're feeling this way, that's when you want to bite down on some cheese doodles. Basically, overeating is about avoiding a needed, loving conversation with yourself. It's about avoiding honoring your truest feelings and your truest thoughts. You go into flight. You lose yourself in the cheese doodles. If you want to live your happiest life and you want to live your healthiest life, then you have to be true to who you are and true to what you need to know about yourself and your life. And thereby you have to stop picking out and start listening up. You have to go on a hate loss plan. And I'm going to be sharing some tools to help you drop the hate. The first tool is journaling. Get it all out of your system and onto paper. For me, journaling is kind of like using a Ouija board. The pen is in my hand and then I start writing and I'm like, oh, so that's how I feel. Get the hate out of your system and onto paper. So next time you feel the urge to eat a whole bag of cheese doodles, remind yourself that these are I hate me doodles, or I hate her doodles, or I hate him doodles. And take all of that hate, pull out your journal, and release the hate onto paper instead of releasing the cheese doodles into your mouth. Another tool that I now use is to look at a food and ask myself, is this an I love me food? Am I eating like I love myself? Or is this food an I hate me food, I hate him food, I hate her food? Am I using this food to punish myself? I ask myself this before I go to eat a food. I also have a range of other forgiveness therapy tools, which I'll be sharing with you at the end of this workshop, so be sure to stay through to the very end. I also want to remind you that if you're presently emotionally eating, know this now. The time has come to stop hurting yourself because you're angry at someone else. This is so important, I'm saying it twice. The time has come to stop hurting yourself because you're angry at someone else. Be sure to stay through to the end of the workshop so you can get more forgiveness therapy tools. Be sure to stay through to the end of the workshop so you can get more forgiveness therapy tools.